So I know most of you have met Tim previously at the conference, so it probably doesn't have any need for introduction.
Yeah, my name is still Tim Moore. Okay, so this is an evaluation of an innovative parent-led program. The issue that we're addressing is the challenges that are faced by parents of young children with developmental disabilities in making decisions about goals. It's been a prevailing theme of the conference. So we're going to describe a way of doing it. What we're presenting is a description and an evaluation of the Now and Next program run by Plumtree, developed by them, an innovative peer-led program for parents of young children. My centre, the Centre for Community Child Health, was commissioned by Plumtree to undertake a process and outcomes evaluation, and we looked at data for 15 Now and Next groups that were run between January 2017 and March 2018 and involved 154 families from birth to 8. Now, the people who are involved in this, the stars of this show, are the people from Plumtree who have been involved in developing it. So Silvana Barmick, who is the CEO here, Mogi Bahia Scalan, peer worker, Dr. Anik Johnson, where are you, Anik? Oh, sorry. Who's from Victoria University in Wellington. So they've played a major part in this. So it's a privilege. So what we're going to have a look at is an outline of the Now and Next program, which Silvana will present. We're going to have a theory of changes and key research questions presented by Anik, a participatory action research approach by Morgie, and then I'll look at the results and conclusions and implications, and there'll be some links and publications and references in the end, which we will not have time to talk about, but the slides can be made available to you. I'm going to hand over to Silvana.
So the Now and Next program is an 8-week protocol. It's a group developed by Plumtree that helps families and carers of young children with developmental delay or disability to develop the skills to achieve positive outcomes for their child, family and self. The 8-week program uses evidence-based, which we just heard from Malka from Israel, evidence-based with strengths-based positive psychology practices to build family capacity. The program begins with an individual visioning and planning session where family use Pictability, which is a game-like visioning program, vision setting tool that we've developed, and it encourages parents to think about a future of possibilities, inspiring them to think about goals for themselves, their family, and their child. The program runs parallel to whatever else is happening for the family and is offered to Plumtree regardless of whether they are receiving a service at Plumtree or not. That's all I'm going to say. For more information, at the end there's there's a postcard in your bag. You can click on the QR link and read the Centre for Welfare Reform document for more information. I'd just like to show a video where the parents talk about the program themselves. This was developed by them and completely by them.
I have a story to tell you. When my daughter was born, they called us in.
After the diagnosis, the doctor said,
My son would not walk. They said she may not talk.
but our life was going to be really challenging.
I felt completely overwhelmed.
We didn't really know what to go, who to listen to, and what steps we needed to take.
I was searching the internet every night.
Every single night.
And the more I read, the more my heart sank. Everyone was telling me what my son couldn't achieve. But then I joined a program called Now and Next.
As parents, we imagined what would have helped us when our...
You're buffering.
We'll stop that video and it will just prompt you. It will prompt you to have a look at the...
I have a
We're not
story
going
to
to start
tell
again
you.
because we are on a really tight schedule. We'll try to drag it along, but if it doesn't work, we are going to send you, go to the QR code and you can watch this video online. Oh, no, that's it. I've been given the cue. Over to the next slide. It's an awesome video where the parents speak about what the program meant to them, and I think it really beautifully follows what Malka said in terms of hope, empowerment, and well-being. Watch it later on.
So, as a researcher and the director in the team, I love talking about research, but I will not bore you today with these components and all the theory behind it. We have actually put this postcard into your conference bags. There's a website, according to you, and there's a QR code also that will lead you to all the back. But the bottom, we start with evidence-based, and we want to move along the continuum on the left. And so for that, we act with three groups of people. On the right-hand side, the parents who participate in the now&next program. And in the middle part are the peer workers, which are the parent group who show leadership and want to share their knowledge with other families. So they get trained, and you've already met many of them today here and at the stand, at the booth. And on the left-hand side, we decided that we need to also bring the community of practitioners with us, meaning that if the parents are going to start speaking a language of, as Malka said, hope and possibilities, then we want the practitioners to also think again about the deficit model and reconsider that and talk about these components in hope and happiness. And we do all this to increase family participation. Many people talk about family participation, but it is quite difficult to engender and to measure. So we've engaged in that. And at the top, our aim is to demonstrate outcomes in building the family capacity and capability through participation. So the process, so there's two types of evaluation measures. One is process and one is outcome. We use both qualitative and quantitative. We collect data all the time, in real time, and so that we're able to sit in a control tower. And the peer workers in the audience here are smiling because it is, everything we do is research informed and informs the research as well. So Tim will talk about this specific question, so I will, the three evaluation question. And the outcome evaluation, we have four types of measure. One is the goals that parents choose. They choose three goals: a goal for their family, a goal for their child, and a personal goal. So may I emphasize again that this is very unique to encourage parents to choose a goal for themselves, but in our eyes it is essential, because if we are serious about building capacity, then we need to encourage parents talking about they wish to go back to work, they wish to go finish their education, they wish to have connection with their friends, etc. So this is very important. And then we have our three psychological measures, the ones that very similar to what Malka was emphasizing, which I'm very happy that she's given you already all the background why all this is important. However, Malka was talking about teaching parents hope and happiness, and we're talking about through their participation, hope and happiness are outcomes. So just to make sure that this is a little bit different, and that we and also the participation of fathers, which I will let my colleague review in a moment.
Hi, my name is Nogi. I'm a mother of two young, beautiful boys. One of them is on the autism spectrum. I'm a peer worker in plumtree. I'm going to quickly talk about our experience of using a participatory action research approach in this evaluation. There were parents very actively involved in all aspects of this evaluation process. In the planning stage, 3 parents were included in the reference group, and then of course parents participated in the evaluation when they were enrolled in the program. And who collected the data? Parents collected the data. Our parent facilitators, they were trained to collect and record data during the program. And having parents collecting the data was made the experience of the parents who are filling out the scarcity measures a bit less daunting and a bit positive. And I am one of the 154 parents who participated in this evaluation. When I filled out my measurements and scales, there were a lot of them. And I felt safe knowing that there was the peer facilitator, the parents who are collecting that measurements. And I felt safe to fill out all those very, very personal and sensitive information of myself and my family. And also, there were this trust and positive relationship and engagement starting to build between the facilitator and me. So it was a positive experience. And then in the end, we successfully collected high quality data. And later on, I was very fortunate to assist with data analysis and knowledge generation process. And having had that experience, I experienced it on my own. My priority was really include every single voice, every single feedback from the parents in the evaluation result. And also, I'm very passionate about translating the results of the evaluation into action, and I want many more parents to improve their experience of early childhood intervention and reaching the better outcomes for their children and for their families.
Okay, going the wrong way. So, results, quickly. Did the program reach the intended target group? Sorry about that. The program had an average attendance rate, so did people come? They ran it. Nearly 80% over the 8-week program. Strong levels of participation from culturally and linguistically diverse family, who made up nearly 60%. Really interesting finding, as well as from fathers, again, an unusually high percentage, 20% of participants. Was the program delivered as intended? Well, we've heard about the way that the program has been progressively developed. It's now got comprehensive and systematic documentation of the sessions for use by the peer facilitators. There was real-time monitoring of participant feedback incorporated into the program, as we've heard from Mogi, for continuing improvement. So yes, it's been delivered as intended. And how did the participants rate it? Their ratings increased over the course of the program, session by session. Except for session 5, and I can not for the life of me remember what that was about, where the scores decreased slightly and then increased for the remainder of the program. So it became more and more a positive experience for people. The outcomes, to what extent did parent participants achieve the goals? You heard from Anik that there were 3 goals that people were formulating, it's highly successful in giving them the experience of developing short-term, long-term and short-term goals. The short-term goals particularly, a total of 134 goals, 137 family goals, 117 personal goals were recorded, and more than 9 in 10 participants did all of them over that 8-week period. And remember, these are just parents in the room. There are no professionals here. This is quite special, I think. To what extent did they become empowered? So here are the 3 positive empowerment kind of data that we're looking at. Matched participants, we didn't have data on the whole set. match participant data was available for a subset, showing statistically significant increases in parents' empowerment and their sense of agency over the course of the period. And also another subset completed a general measure of well-being at the beginning and end, and on average, again, there was a statistically significant increase on parents' health, happiness, and optimism, and a decrease in negativity and loneliness over the course of the program. I want to talk about, in other words, this works. This is successful, and it is quite unique in its approach. What we've started thinking about is what are the active ingredients? In other words, what are the things that make a difference here? What is it that's actually causing this program to work in this kind of way? So here are some candidate lists of things which we think are special about this program. We haven't at this stage been able to prioritise them or say which is which. Parent-to-parent contact, tremendously powerful. Provision of a structured sequence of sessions. We haven't had time to go into it. Watch the video, read the report, read the other documentation we'll show you. Parents as facilitators. So people like Morgie learning how to work with other parents and so on. The use of a positive psychology framework, which we've heard about, was so important, and we heard in that first presentation. Focus on achievable short-term goals. So their parents are good at saying to each other, are you going to be able to do that? You know, sort of focus on goals for the child, family and the parents, the three aspects of things. Use of specially designed tools such as Pictability, which you haven't had time to talk about, a really innovative tool. Encourage parents to think in terms of outcomes rather than therapies. When they're thinking about their goals. These are people who might go on to the NDIS. Encouraging parents to solve goals through their own actions. People would come to the realisation, I could do that myself. I do not actually require the services of a professional. Using real-time data to provide feedback to the people running the course, and learning skills that are transferable to other areas of their life. So it's highly successful in providing parents with the experience of formulating and achieving short-term goals. These goals are generated through a vision setting process completed by the family rather than a planning process directed by professionals, rather than supported by professionals. So an important difference. The focus on three sets of goals, child and family as a whole, and the parents as well, I think is a strong feature of the family, and supported by a great deal of research evidence. Participant feedback mechanisms are built into the program deliberately to ensure that participant outcomes are measured consistently and constantly. And the Pictability resource provides parents with a creative and engaging tool to help them build a vision for the whole family, so that it does both long-term and short-term planning. So it does the hope and the visioning for what you want, and acknowledges that side of things, as well as looking at short-term goals. Implications. This is a highly promising model. The evidence that we've got from here is good, but not strong. We need many more research efforts to unpack the key features that we need to, the active ingredients, and to demonstrate that it's going to be effective in other environments. To me, it's grappling with the whole NDIS issue. Is this a circuit breaker? Is this the kind of program that if people went through this prior to going into an NDIS planning meeting, would they be far less likely to make the kind of mistakes that we've heard that people are making? The time they first encounter the NDIS systems, parents are likely to be at their most vulnerable and unsure what they need. If they had an experience of the now&next program, they'll be much clearer about their short-term and long-term goals. And this would equip parents to negotiate service plans that have a clear focus on outcomes they want to achieve rather than the services that professional offer. Further research, we need further trials. There needs to be trial in other sites, larger numbers, comparison with other programs and pathways. What impact might this have compared with other programs? We need to identify the active ingredients. We need to work out the time. When do the professionals come involved in this and provide their input? And we need to look at long-term. Are these short-term gains found in the present evaluation sustainable over time? Acknowledgements. Now Next was funded by ADEC and the Department of Family and Community Services and the NDIA. So that needs to be acknowledged, and Plumtree, of course, wishes to thank all the peer facilitators and the reference group. And I'd like to thank my colleagues Maria Fong and Sophie Rushton for their analysis of the data. Links to Plumtree and our centre, references that were cited by ANIC, and a series of publications and reports from Plumtree itself, some of which have been presented at this conference, and our report, our full evaluation is that final one. And we'll leave it at that point. Thank you.
You did very well. So Tim, are those slides available in some form for people?
I haven't asked. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yes. Yes.
We